Good morning. How are you today? We're having another beautiful day in the Bahamas, and apart from all the awful things that are happening all around the world, we're being very careful here. Let's begin with our song, shall we? Good morning, I hope you're well today. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, the flowers are sparkling just like you. Good morning, I hope you're well today. Have a nice day. Something really special happened to me this morning. I have a very good friend who I was once on the stage with. We were in Cinderella. And this lady was the Prince Charming. In England, if you have a pantomime, the leading gentleman, which is the prince, is played by a lady. And this lady was, oh, so good. And I was the good fairy. But I was a very old good fairy with a big wig on. And oh, I had such a good time throwing glitter and fluffy juice. Well, this lady came along and look what she brought for me. A whole bag of the most wonderful books. Two of them are my very, very favourites, and I hadn't seen them for quite a long time because I haven't been teaching for a while. Just two odd little children that came to my house, but not in a classroom. And the last time I was in a classroom, oh, one of them, I must tell you, when I was over in England, I met a little boy that loved one book, and we enjoyed it so much, and I found it in this bag today. I was so excited. Anyhow, this lady, and her name's Tatiana Christie, she has a little girl called Luna. She was on the stage too. She was one of the dancers. And she said, please, Miss Kay, would you read this book, which is called Corduroy? And she put me a little note on. This one is from Luna. She asked if you could read it. Thank you. So I'm going to read it specially for Luna, but it's one I've heard before. I just love it. We're going to try and look at all the pictures because it's quite small. Corduroy. These are called corduroy pants or trousers, and often little boys and some little girls, they wear them. Corduroy is a little bear. Oh, I must put my glasses on for this. It's quite small. He's a little bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. There's a giraffe and a doll, and there's Corduroy, a lovely rabbit, and a clown, all sitting on the shelf. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear with green overalls. Looks like a big store like Macy's in New York. Then one morning a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. Oh, Mummy, she said, look, there's the very bear I've always wanted. Not today, dear, her mother sighed. I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look very new. He's lost a button and one of his shoulder straps is missing. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. I didn't know I'd lost a button, he said to himself. Tonight, I'll go and see if I can find it. Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed down carefully from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. See, everything is covered and draped and the lights are out. Oh, and there's the stairs going up. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Oh, quite by accident, he'd stepped onto an escalator and up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. There he is going up, bump, 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 bump. I hope it's safe when he gets to the top. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. This must be a palace, Corduroy gasped. I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace. Goodness me, look at all the chairs and the lamps. Look at all those beds. No wonder he thinks it's a palace. He wandered around admiring the furniture. This must be a bed, he said. I've always wanted to sleep in a bed. And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once, he saw something small and round. Why, here's my button, he cried. And he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. Look, they're all over. He thinks that's his button on his corduroy shirt, on his corduroy pants. Uh-oh. He yanked and he pulled with his both paws and until off came the button off the mattress. Corduroy toppled backwards and banged into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a big crash. Oh, can you just imagine how he went to knocking things down? Uh-oh. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman. He was going on his rounds on the floor above when he heard the crash. Oh, he came dashing down the escalator. Now, who in the world did that? He exclaimed. Somebody must be hiding round here. He flashed his light up and over and under the sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Hello, he said. How did you get upstairs? The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him back on the shelf in the toy department with all the other animals and the dolls, with the clown and the rabbit and the dolls. There he is. They don't look very happy, do they? Corduroy was just waking up when the first customer came into the store in the morning, and there looking at him was a little girl with a wide, warm smile, the same little girl that he'd seen the day before. I'm Lisa, she said, and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I'd saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home. Oh, just imagine. Shall I put him in a box for you? The sales lady said. Oh, no, thank you, Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a tiny little bed, just the right size for him. Oh, the room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. This must be home, he said. I know, I've always wanted a home. Lisa sat down with Corduroy and on her lap, and she began to sew a button on his overalls. I like you the way you are, she said, but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened. You must be a friend, said Corduroy. I've always wanted a friend. Me too, said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. You got a friend? I have lots of friends, and we paint, and we have lunch, and we do things together. And now we can't see each other. You know what we're doing? We're talking on Facebook, and we're talking on YouTube, and we listen and send messages. We have great fun. And if I do a painting, my friends can see it without coming to my house. I know that you've got friends too. Nobody has sent me very many pictures. You have to ask your mummy. And you draw a picture, your mummy takes a camera and takes a little picture of it and sends it to me at khardyhall@gmail.com. It was lovely talking to you today. Luna, thank you for letting us borrow this book, and we'll find another one tomorrow. Bye.